Morning, everyone. So, someone had asked me to do a review of the Warriors book. Obviously, I played Warriors for a very long time, and now I've been playing a lot of Orcs, but, I can still look at what changes in the Warriors book and see what I think overall. So, we'll just skip right to the changes. Okay. Okay, so some champions and musicians went down to 10. So, champions really didn't go down unless they were like barbarian champions. Actually, did chosen champions go down to 10? Let me look. Chosen, normal chosen. No, they're still at 30. Damn. Okay, well they get 3 wounds, so I guess that's fair. So we benefit a little bit there. Burning point going down is potentially a big deal. Obviously, 10 points on an item is sure great, but what it really does is open up the Dragonbane gem again for heroes. So you can take the Desk Forged, Burning Point, and a Dragonbane gem, or Potion of Speed if you really want. It depends on the build. I mean, if you're on a horse, I think the one-up rollable guy with a Dragonbane gem on a horse got a lot better because of that, just because he's not dead to lash anymore. So that's pretty nice, a little thing. Zealous Banner going to 50. Fine. Prelate, okay. DS up, Dice up, Skywheel down. None of these I think are too crazy. I mean, if you're taking like a Portent Lord on Dice, it didn't change at all. Sure, it's nice to have Zealous. I mean, like, it's whatever, right? None of these are game-breaking changes. Prelate for 55, it wasn't the most popular item. Some people took it. Core, we got the base warriors up. Additional models are down. Lust is up to 3. I thought Lust might be up more, maybe 4. We'll see. I mean, these changes are, they're testing them for a month, so I could definitely see if they end up not being heavy enough on warriors, I could see that being one of the things that goes up. What's interesting is I think the general perception is that it was kind of a light update as far as things that were not hit as hard as people would think, and the Warriors were one of the most hit armies, in my opinion, but at the same time, you can still make pretty good lists, I'd say, just fine, and we'll make a list after I talk a little bit about this. So, Warriors up 10 base, Lust up, so you're talking the typical Lust Warrior unit is up 20, but you had a musician, so you're up 10 in the end of the day, and if you took bigger warrior units, it cancels out once you get to 15, assuming Lust was not there. So something like the 18-man greed unit I used to take is 6 points less. Well, with Zealot's Banner, which I used to take too, is like 16 points less. So that's something. Warrior Knights down 5 base, down 2 additional for additional models. Okay, it's little points here and there. Chosen themselves. Now these are a little bit more buffed, I'd say. Since the Million Movements 5, like a unit of 10 is down 55 points. That's something. I don't know if people take 10 that much. Wrath being down, so the Wrath Great Weapon guys are cheaper. Chosen Knights finally got down 15 base, 10 per model. So a unit of 5 is 35 points less. They brought Lust back up. Lust was one of the better ones on them, in my opinion, just because they could flee. It's free Strider banner, essentially. They still have the issue of, they're just 3 strength 5 attacks each with toughness 4 and 2+ save, so some range damage is just really good versus them. And they strength 5 is kind of shit sometimes, so I mean the greed ones were kind of nice because they can switch to great weapons and paired weapons. I think we'll see them more. Especially since Feldrakes went up as well, so now the comparison starts to become a little closer. You're talking 410 base versus 330 base. It used to be 110 points difference, now it's at like 80, and then you add in maybe 2 models, and the Feldrakes are more expensive, plus the paired weapons you got to pay for, which I guess you can pick a mark, which is like greed's like 3 points. So if you take greed into account, right? We can do that comparison later when I do the list, actually. Chosen Chariot. I can see these marks going up. I'm surprised the rest went up. It's like 365 points for an Envy or a Greed or a Lust Chosen Chariot. 365 just feels like a ton, considering that the Forsaken one is like 390 and is like I don't know. I think they hit Chosen Chariots a little too hard, in my opinion. I thought the double hit of base cost. It's not like you saw the other ones. That one felt weird to me. That one felt like they priced Chosen Chariots out. Like they're the cost. They're almost 375. It's 460 for two normal ones. I don't know. I don't know why you would take Chosen over normal ones. I think with Alchemy and their their 5 wounds, a 2-up save. T5. It's not weak, but it just felt like it was a couple rolls away from dying. And Lust was probably the best one because not just because of fleeing, it was mainly because of the DTs. That's the big thing with Chariots. It's like you run through one woods or one wall, and your 365 points of taking DTs are like 1 or 2 away. It's just I don't like. It's fine. They brought up the big retro 1 units are up 20 points. That's fine. Shrines up 15, 25. Okay. It's funny to think that ETC, the last one that happened, Shrines were 260. They were 50 points less. Yeah, they were really good. Additional flare models is whatever. Not even sure why they did that. Didn't seem to be a thing. They're already really cheap for extra models. Luckily, lashes are limited at 15 anyway, so the extra model, like this, doesn't really help that kind of playstyle. Like you can't take 20 with lashes, but maybe, I don't know, maybe big flare units are a thing. They are fast cap. Phildrex, okay, they're up 15 base, up 5 per model, up 2 for paired weapons, so a unit of 6 is up 5. It's 5 points per model, they're up, and if you take paired weapons, they're up an extra 2. So 6 is up 30 points. Feldrake Elder, base cost 20 went up, 15 for the pair weapon, 35 total. Makes sense. They are one of the strongest monsters in the game, and they were pretty cheap. Now they're closer. I mean, the same points as what was it? What the fuck? Gortox. Same points as the Gortox now. Different monsters, obviously. Gortox are a little better in combat, but the Feldrake Elders are one of the fastest monsters in the game, being 816. So still super strong. And, I know they're trying to get, warriors are very powerful. I know they're trying to tamper them down, which is very fine. Yeah, I don't know. It surely doesn't. Like, you can't walk away from this update and say, oh man, warriors didn't get hit, or at least the popular builds didn't get hit. People will say, is it enough? And I don't know if it's enough. And I think part of it comes down to because most of the normal warrior lists don't benefit too greatly, I'm just thinking about it from the command change, because we didn't get, champions don't go down, which we had a lot of, but also standard musicians, we had some, but we weren't like racked up on them, like, right, you had 3 less units. With musicians, the champions didn't go down, and maybe you had a Feldrake unit. So you weren't exactly raking in the extra points, and then your units didn't really go down that much. I mean, if you take the other ones, sure. But Warriors always had this thing, and coming from Orcs right now, it's like you can just sub things in, right? Like, okay, Chosen Chariot goes up, put a Forsaken one in. If you really want, you can change out a lot of things. Like I've said before, it's shit that fights. That's what it is. Shit that fights. You just change out different shit that fights. And whether it has different speeds, sure, they're not perfectly the same, but I don't know. It doesn't have the same feel as like a giant versus 2 chariots versus Nashers versus Iron Orcs. Like, those feel like dynamically super different versus, am I gonna, I guess Chosen on Foot are different than other things. Maybe Giants become popular now. I don't know. Let's build a list real quick. I think I have it open. Yeah. Let's make a list that was the list I would have taken if there was a tournament that I wanted to play Warriors at, like, in the moment. I don't know how to say it differently than that. Like, what was the last Warrior list I would have played? So, man, this guy is so good. He's also, it's weirdly like, I'm so used to how expensive like models are in Warriors. So like 460 seems like an average cost, but like my Omen of Apocalypse Warlord is 510. So, and they're comparable. And one's a mage with, they're different models, but it's just funny. Heralds are still super good. I'm surprised they didn't go up, to be completely honest. So let's just say we did, this is what I was doing before. That went up 10 points something, and then you go Warhounds. I had 8. So this was my core, which is now 100 over. Damn, look at that. Ain't that some shit. Ain't that some shit. And then let's just see how many points this unit went up. So with this, with Great Weapon, Musician, this actually went down. This actually was a wash because of the command. So, oh, that's nice. And then, but this will go up because Forsaken ones went up too. Was this the list? There's something else in this list. There was a flare unit. That's right. So this was the list before. I'll just give it shields. So this is the list before. It went up 70, 80, and then third, 120. Yeah, it went up 120 because it was 30. Yeah. So, I mean, oh my god, I need 15 points and I can't even get it outside of this. Oh my god, this is obnoxious. Oh my god, I can't even fill the core. Fuck. That's annoying. I would probably actually drop one of these to like a Great Weapon. Great Weapon on an Elder is fine. Or no weapon. Just go super cheap. It does feel bad that it's 25 points less and you lose an attack, but I mean, you could probably go something like this. And I don't know. You could actually probably just make one like musician only and then take the dogs again, I guess. I don't know, you could do something like this. Like, this would still be super powerful. I mean, what do you truly lose? Like a dog unit from this list? Like, okay, let's just go Lust. And then let's just take, I need 15 points. Okay, let's take 2 standards just because. Okay. It's pretty good. Standards are pretty nice now on warrior units. Actually, they're actually like, you probably just should take all. Like this is fine of a list. Nothing wrong with this list at all. You essentially dropped a dog unit. You slightly improved your lust units with standards, and you had to take a great weapon instead of a paired weapon. If you ignore cost and say, okay, well, things went up and they're going to be cost more. It's still a good list. Everything fights except for this unit. Everything's annoying. Your magic is good or solid, whatever you need to be. You have a huge unit here. If I was to play Warriors tomorrow, this is the list I'd probably play. Now we can start saying what was new, what would we change. Well, since most things went up, there's not a whole. I mean, like Warriors went down, Warrior Knights. This list doesn't like look like it needs chosen. I think the Exalted Herald's going to be taken a lot now. I still think it's one of the better choices, if not the best choice. He's super annoying to play against. I probably am a little too aggressive with him. I think one advantage Warriors have, one nice advantage is, you have the Herald, if you take Veil Walker, is a very nice caster. And it's a very hard army to like get to grips with. Like if this army needs to push, it pushes, right? It's Herald 6, the core is all fighty but scoring, so you don't feel like you're wasting it. And then you have 6 Feldrakes, 2 Elders, and then a Forsaken one, which is already obnoxious to deal with. Then you throw in your chaff, right? And it just goes. Everything fights. Even that mage is super tanky and super annoying to deal with. And so if you need to push, you can push. And if you need to kind of dick around and the enemy doesn't have a ton of of magic and shooting to kind of whittle your points down, you can kind of sit there and do the same thing, and it's hard to get crushed unless you super commit. So that is an advantage of warriors, is that like if you just want to sit there and not lose, but it's a thing. Now that's hard for me because I always like to win. So I feel like I see that advantage more when I play versus it. I played the other day with my orcs against Chris, a guy from New York, who I met at Masters. Very nice guy. And I know I have 5 fanatics, I have 2 idols, I have an Omen Apocalypse. It's very hard to run into my orc list, so he kind of sat in the corner and was casting some magic at me and coming around the flank. And I just realized sitting there, I was like, man, it is so hard. And part of it was how I deployed, made it harder for myself. So I do take blame for that. But it was just, I'm like, damn, it's so hard to run into warriors with like a herald sitting back there, just like casting kind of, if you have good spells to cast. I will say there was a slight nerf to the herald in that there was a slight nerf, slight buff. Buff was pentagram became a hex, which is nice for him because I used to have to, like, sometimes if I wanted to heal AoE into like my own units, and I didn't want to do that, or I'd have to turn him, like give my flank to somebody so that I could shoot it somewhere else. So that being a hex actually really helped him because he likes to heal. But breath going up to a 6, I think, hurts him a lot because I really like flying. I really like taking breath, and it's a great spell. And you're probably going to 3 dice it now, so it's very hard to 3 dice it on somebody else because it's a 9, and I hate rolling 9s on 3 dice. But it being a 6 to cast, self-cast, is just a little bit obnoxious because it's just you know, that's 6 is 5 out of 36, so you basically took 12% chance less to get it now, which is a big nerf to that spell because it was a very good 2 dice spell, especially since he's not a master. I think it was a fair nerf. Don't get me wrong. I do not. I'm not upset that they nerfed it. I think it's completely fair. It just is what it is. It makes you wonder if like you could get a Chimera Lord for like 700 points. So you're probably getting, it becomes really expensive to put a Chimera Lord instead of an Elder. You could put a Chimera Lord instead of this unit. I mean, like I said, you can still take the shit, the normal stuff, and it still has its power. Like I said, you lost a dog. I lost a dog unit. I had a dog unit in core, and I had to drop it, and I had to make this a great weapon, which has its own benefits in my opinion, because now you kind of spread out. You have a bunch of strength 4, you have some strength 7, you have some strength 7 again. No, strength 8 now, so you can crack some armor. Yeah, I mean, you lost some strength 6, but you still stomp and everything. And depending on how the other armies change, it's fine. You just play it a little different. It's slightly less powerful, maybe. What other units? What got cheaper? Let's actually compare like a Chosen Knight unit. And you know, with Battle Shrines going up, this probably got a little more powerful because they were slow, but that kind of inherently helps demons, I guess. Demons didn't get hit as hard as you might think they would. Oh, you can only take 5 Chosen Knights, right? Let's just say Greed. And let's just say all of this. Champion just feels so bad. You're paying for a champ and for 1 extra attack. Like, they don't get anything other than Leadership 9. Okay, that's fine. You're paying 15 points for Leadership 9. Alright, we'll take it. So, I don't know what banner. In this army, it'd probably be Strider or Flaming. Let's just take Flaming, because you have an Alchemy guy, so it actually does benefit from it a lot. So you're saying this versus this. You save 80 points? 85 points. What would you spend 85 points on? You have 90 because you could take a dog unit, whatever. And then you're, I don't know, it's just far less. It's 15 T4 2+ save versus 24 T5 4+ save. Like, I just think the Feldrake unit's better still. I just don't, and they don't take fucking as many wounds from terrain as these guys do. I don't know. I don't think either unit's bad. I think if you have portals, Chosen Knights become more interesting. This unit's fine, and it's actually very annoying to deal with Chosen Knights. Then again, it would have been just as hard to deal with the Feldrax, thinking about my own game. Maybe you have a better chance with the panics and stuff, but they're both super grind. I mean, this sticks better in combat because it has rerolls inherently, and so you really do have to like kill them. Like you don't just go in and like slightly break them. You have to fuck them up. It's a fine. Yeah, I don't care if you want to take it. Sure. I mean, you can make probably an. I mean, is it interesting? That's the thing too, right? Let's just. You saw the list I like. Let's just do 2 of these, and then drop all of these big things, which kind of starts making the list kind of feel weird. But and then we'll take a Helmaw. If you want to bring back the Helmaw, you don't need all these. I mean, it's, yeah, I don't know. The list I played against had, what was it look like? Let me just make it for you guys. It was something like, he didn't have this. Oh yeah, he had a big ass unit. Is this it? What am I missing? Oh yeah, that's right. It was closer to my master's list and his character setup. So, oh my god, oh my god. I didn't even have Trophy Wreck. Oh, grades 15, that's not bad. Is this it? No, he had Potion of Speed. Which I wouldn't take, personally. He's going to watch this video, so maybe he's excited that I'm talking about his list, or he's embarrassed. Not embarrassed, but this didn't have a standard. And this was a ward save. Well, I'm 10 points over somewhere. I don't know where. Yeah, I shouldn't have to pay for paired weapons. What the fuck? Don't understand. Oh. I dropped the thing? Where did it even go? Oh, shit. I'm an idiot. Wrong model. Wrong model. This guy seems fine. So where's the extra points coming with? I don't know where the 10 points are. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It could be... I have no fuck... I mean, a musician? Where the hell did he get those 10 points from? Maybe he was over by 10 points. Who knows? Anyway, if this was the general build. And I was talking to him about, what can we do to make... This looks like a good Helmaw army, right? You have a big unit of warriors. So sometimes I think Helmaw, is it better with MSU, or is it better with, like, little chosen units, or is it better with big units? I think there's arguments for both. I think there's something nice where you have giant units like this, because you can redeploying a huge unit is like a big benefit, right? You just drop it in front of somebody or something like that. And the Chosen Lord's good with it. All this stuff is similar to what I've taken the Masters at some point. So I would probably drop this unit, and I would probably take Zealot's Banner now. Oh my god, did this unit, like, can you not do this anymore? This was the old style. Oh, you can still do it. Oh, can you not drop the warrior? Or is it 9-0? Oh my god, look at that. You can't even. This used to be perfect under core. Whatever. I just want a Helmaw on this list. How do you get a Helmaw? Oh, this kind of feels bad, right? To drop one of each. Oh, then you don't need the flares either. Flares are good. I'm just saying you don't need them in this particular build. Is this better? I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know if this is better. I would definitely take Binding Scroll over Talisman, probably. And then this guy should have Trophy Rack. So he has 245. So this build would have been over points in the last edition. I don't like Death Cheater that much. I like to run my guy out too much, and I don't want to be susceptible to flaming. So the way I used to run him was Dusk Forge, because I'm a goddamn man. And I wouldn't have this. What did I have? Oh, I had this many points? What did I take? I'm like sitting here like forgetting what my build was. What the fuck? I mean, I don't need greed if this is the case. What did I take? What was my master's list? I had something else. Let's look. I had a flying Demon Prince guy. Oh, I need something to get him a better save, right? I had Thrice Forged. That's right. I had to take Thrice Forged. Oh, I'm not. You can't even do it anymore. Okay, so my build sucks then. Fuck. That sucks. I wanted the. I thought maybe the 10 points less would get me something, but it doesn't get me shit. Damn. I'm still susceptible to motherfucking flaming. Hellforged armor. Oh, he only has a 2-up save. Wow, I thought he was a 1-up. So he's a 2-up? Wait, 4-up for that. Shield, Destiny's Call. You need Willow Ward, right? You have to go this way then. I don't understand. Sorry, we're just messing around. Did he have something down here? Okay, let's not take this. Death Cheater. What's wrong? Willow's Ward. Yeah. Okay, so he took Potion of Speed. I would do this. I think this is better. I get a 1-up save. Because 4-up, yeah, you want the 1-up save. You don't need the damn Potion of Speed. You're initiative 7. 1-up, 4-up is fine. Feels bad if you're against. I mean, my build is not any better against flaming, so I don't know why I act like it's better. Yeah, this build's pretty good. He's fun. I have 100 points left in this list. Holy shit! Holy shit! I could get so many things. Oh, I mean, the Helmaw gets you a whole unit if you drop it. Fuck. Ugh, how lame is that? Is there any better mark than Greed? Greed's so cheap now. They made Lust more expensive. I mean, it's only like 20 points. I mean, you can get it now with this. I don't even know if I like these fuckers. Man. This was the old school build. This was good stuff. I miss my master's list sometimes. Maybe this unit will be better now. It's cheaper. I told you it went down. So 20 for the, so it went up 10, but you make that up in the first 5. So the last 5 warriors are 10 points cheaper. So 10, 20, 30, 40 points. This unit's 40 points cheaper than it used to be. It's like a house. A lot of greed in this list. But like, assuming that this was even something fighty, like this list just fights. Like everything fights. It's so hard to get through it all. That's the benefit that warriors still have, really. I mean, they've always had it. They're just super fucking fighty. It's just hard to get through. That's the pain in the ass. Like, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound either really bad for me or it's gonna make people. I don't know. Who knows? I think, like, the easiest way to beat warriors is have the other player try to beat you by a lot. Does that make sense? Meaning, if you take a warrior player, like, it's almost like playing dwarves sometimes. If you take a warrior player that doesn't want to like lose, it's just very hard to like a defensive warrior player. I played a couple of them back in the day too. It's just so obnoxious. It's so, and I've done it with my warriors against a defensive warrior player. I guess the reason I don't see it as much is I don't play that way. And so, because I don't play that way, most of the time, maybe my lists sometimes expose themselves to getting motherfucking fucked up by other people. Man, 4 Chosen Knights is 12 wounds. How much is a big ass warrior knight unit now? Let's just make up a unit and let's take greed. That's the only thing they can really compare, I think. It's not bad. It's about the same, so you're getting 1 wound less, but you get a better save naturally. Right, because you have 1 up for shooting and you can do it in combat. You're the same in combat, 2 up save. You're not toughness 6. You only have 1 or 2 attacks each versus 3 plus the mounts. I don't know. This is comparable, I'd say. It kind of feels weird to take the Helm with such fast units, but teleporting around is still good. I don't know. I brought something like this to a tournament and I got dicked on, so. But that's probably me being a bad player. So, or playing bad, maybe not being a bad player. You could even go 1 of each, right? You could do something like, actually this is works, right? This is not this army just seems kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie. Not the most exciting thing to put on paper, but anyway, that's my thoughts. I will put my prediction now that in 1 month the Herald will go up 20 points, 15 to 20 points. Do I think it's going to break Warriors because of that? No, I think you could still fit them in. You saw there was 50. I had points laying around you could find, but I will say that I think they will go up a little bit more. I would not expect big decreases on these other units. I know it's nice. I know some people say, oh, Chosen Knights went down. It's maybe not enough. I think that's internally something more than externally. Like, it's an expensive unit, but I don't know if they're going to... Like, this is expensive. I don't know if they're going to give you a much cheaper one, though. I don't know. I don't think so. I think you're going to kind of have to deal with the fact. It depends on how the armies around you adapt too. So I'll go quickly in that. If Dark Elves become super popular, and they are very annoying for Warriors because we don't have the range to deal with them, though the Herald is really good against that. And they just get +1 to wound with like AP 2 or 3 on spears, and like just natural core spears can fuck up Warriors. Like you charge in your Chosen Knights, and then you lose 2 models before you even get to fight, and it was like 15 spearmen. Shades can fuck up Chosen Knights a lot because you only have a 2 up save, so it becomes a 3 up save. They have poison, strength, T4. Ravenclaws can fuck up Elders. I could see Dark Elves being a problem for Warriors, so that's an inherent problem. But at the same time, things like if Pyro becomes popular, right? If Pyro becomes popular, not this list particularly, but the other list I had, sure, your Forsaken one's a little vulnerable, but your rest of your army is Feldrake Elders and 1 up save guys. No one gives a fuck. The new spell is, sure, it's great. It's 12-inch range for the agility defense one. The other one's a good one. I don't know if the new spell makes up for the fact that the rest of the Warriors army is really good versus Pyro. Does that make sense? Like, if these armies are taking Pyro as opposed to like Alchemy or something, I'd rather see the new spell than Alchemy for any day. Though to be fair, that army I showed was not bad against Alchemy either because it was all reroll, stuff like that. Alchemy got a little better because of the number 4 being the Spike, which I think is a little bit better spell versus Warriors than Molten Copper, unless you're running like a bunch of Chosen Knights like you see here. So if you're running Chosen Knights like you see here, Molten Copper is probably a little better. They're both fine. Spike does D3 wounds, so it's still pretty good. Yeah, I guess it's like a meta thing too. Like, what becomes popular and is it good versus Warriors? But I don't know what I would do. it's just like no breakpoints were kind of met, right? Like you shifted some points, you had to drop a unit, but it's not like I said, in Furion's High Elf list, his characters became too many points. So he couldn't actually take that character setup anymore, and it drastically changes the list. It's not like I ran out of monster points or I ran out of hero points. I just kind of was like, okay, I need to drop something nice, and that's it. All right. Well, thanks for listening.